Hello everybody, triathlon friends, triathlon community, guys and girls. Happy to see you today. We're here together with Kai and me, Christian, reporting live from Thun, episode number 8. We're going to briefly discuss about the journey for qualifying for World Champs in Lahti, and we're going to talk about our pre-VGT session before Ironman Thun tomorrow.
Thank you very much for this wonderful introduction. I think Christian did a marvelous job. As he said, we are in Thun one day before the first Ironman. Ironman Switzerland tomorrow is going to be a very, very hot day. And before we talk about this, we want to go 1 week back. Christian has just been in Finland, in Lahti, and he was there for a 70.3 race, or a half Ironman. So you see, it's very dense, his racing schedule. And Christian, tell our triathlon friends, please, what have you achieved, what have you experienced in Finland?
Great introduction, Kai. Thank you. It all started with me taking a DNA test a year ago and finding out I'm 10% Finnish. Fast forward, January this year, I was looking at my work schedule and how I could fit what race when. And somehow Finland came up because I always wanted to visit my Nordic ancestors. And apparently it was 70.3 in Lahti, and I did a week there. I stayed in Helsinki for a week, and I did all the preparations in terms of course check, run check, and also enjoying the techno life a bit in Helsinki, so having some doing my 10,000 steps per night.
Did some techno party?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely did some techno party after the race. No, so essentially the whole week was preparation mode. It was sunny, it was cool up there. However, on the race day, on the 1st of July, it was rainy, thunderstorms, and essentially the conditions were not ideal. Funnily enough, I was my calmest and the most confident state of mind that I had, because I visualized the race quite a few times in the hotel room while doing VGT alone. So I was quite calm, and I let the movie take over the day. So on my way from Helsinki to Lahti, this is the story that brings a smile to my face. A baby is crying in my ear for half an hour. The storm is literally, there's a waterfall coming on the wagon of the train, and I'm just in a state of smiling and accepting everything. So that's how the day started. Then
that was the race day?
That was the race day. So because there's a 1 hour train from Helsinki to Lahti.
Okay.
And so
the race is in the afternoon, right?
Yes, and the beautiful thing is with this race is that it's starting at 3 p.m. So I have all the time to be lazy in the morning, to take a long sleep, a good breakfast, and then hop on the train and just go. So because of the midnight sun, the sun never sets there during this time period. So that's beautiful. Of course, there were big waves. There was big noise because of the thunderstorm and everything that was going on in terms of race cancelling. I was very focused. I did again a race visualization before the swim started with my headphones on, put the wetsuit, and it was my best possible swim, 38 minutes around for 1.9k, which was super calm and relaxed for me. I saved a lot of energy, and I saw how a lot of people struggled in the swim, losing a lot of energy. I didn't overtake anyone. I was just following the buoys. And as soon as I got out, when I got onto the bike, I was in the flow state. So again, strong winds, people falling off their bikes left and right in the crosswinds. Of course, I was trying to look with empathy at them and ask if they need anything, and I hope they're still okay. But I had to go on my own.
You have to do your race.
Yeah.
Right. But still,
I still felt this is dangerous. I could
Yeah.
fall any second.
Yeah.
And everything could be over, but somehow
you were in the bubble again. Like
I was, I felt I'm
the windshield bubble.
Yeah, I felt actually. Let's go even harder.
Okay. Okay.
So they say that the continental tires are not the best in the rain. I had continental. and people say that Vittoria or whatever brand, it doesn't matter. I didn't care of anything. I had my goggles on. They were all the time blurry and literally like a blurry windshield from the car. When it heats up, I couldn't see anything. And maybe that helped because I was running through all the potholes and wind and rain regardless. So I was pushing comfortably, and I overtook a lot of people in the beginning because obviously I'm such a slow swimmer, everyone was in front of me. So that's the fun side. But no, the bike went around 245 watts, 153 beats per minute. So for me that would be a zone 3 tempo. If my heart rate is 210 maximum, I was riding quite low. But I believe that's because of the low temperature and because of the continuous rain showers that were pouring on our bodies. So that helped with cooling the core body temperature down. And then went into the run super strong. So I had a bottle with nutrition with me because I cannot consume anything that's on the race course. And I felt super good. The legs were so light and I didn't feel any pain or any discomfort. I was just flowing. And again, my mind was so focused, I was just completely disregarded and I was unshaken by everything that was happening around.
Okay.
And then just grabbed my bottle, started running like a maniac. And it was all like a movie. I was a spectator. My body was telling constantly, let me do the work, let me do the work. I got this. Yeah. And I felt consciously I was in charge of maintaining neutrality or maintaining this focused state of mind in which I don't allow any competitors to enter into my mind. Who's faster, who's slower. I don't allow this ego stuff. Hey, we're going so fast, you're doing pretty well. So I just maintain a state of neutrality, admire the nature around, and just be grateful that, hey, it all started with a DNA test and now we're in the middle of it and actually feeling good. Like I didn't have any time goal and I didn't have the goal to qualify for the World Championships. This is honestly from my heart. I just said, let's see what the day brings. And I just rolled with it. And of course, by the end, everything went so fast. I crossed the finish line, I exploded with happiness, and of course drank a few Red Bulls to, to come back to life and back to heat. But otherwise, it was my best race on the worst possible conditions. Yeah. And what I'm most grateful and thankful about was my unshaken mental state. I believe that this mental training on the race day, with the world champ slot or without, this was my biggest takeaway, to just have this unwavered state of mind.
Yeah, this focus. Thanks for that great insight. I think many can relate to that. That it's very hard in such a blurry, strong conditions to stay focused. And you managed very well because you did the work prior to that. So VGT probably helped you a lot to visualize that and to just run the program in that situation. Now, today, right after this interview, we're going to split this podcast, this episode, a little bit into 3 segments. Right after that, we go into a VGT session preparing Christian for his first Ironman, and he got even a band with a first timer. So we're gonna do this with a focus of the tremendous heat that the heat wave will come tomorrow. So the weather forecast suggests temperatures above 30 degrees, and that's not really fun in a marathon, but we can prepare the body. The body can handle those conditions. Even under extreme conditions, you can outperform your training results if your mind is ready, if your mind is capable of programming the body without stress. And that's what we're going to do in the VGT session right now, focusing on the state of the body being in that hot environment but staying cool. So I'm very curious how your body will react, if it will shake off something or if it will just be silent. We will see. I will put some footage in the video. and then I'm curious what you say after the session. And tomorrow we're gonna see Christian performing here in Thun. So stay tuned with the video. Triathlon friends, we are back with the second part of episode number 8. We just had a good hour of vegetative training, which was a very broad session. A big variety of things happened. As we said before, our goal for this session was to prepare Christian for his first Ironman tomorrow. And his body reacted in a strange way. It was simulating the race on its own, so the body took over, and Christian was taken or allowed his body to take him into the race simulation tomorrow, and it looked very smooth, very natural. That's a good word. Very natural. And he then was put into a state of total silence for about 10-15 minutes. I asked him if he was still awake, and he was, but his body was completely silent, and that emptied his mind. So Christian, you told me after the session we just now had, you felt completely empty. Can you describe to our triathlon friends what does it feel like?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a peaceful experience when you let go of all the nerves and all the tics and all the body sensation, and just let the body shake out. But there's also another thing when you completely give out control, but not in the way of forcing a race simulation and then trying to emulate the movements, right? It's just releasing the body from all expectations and from all thoughts and feelings, and being in that, maybe I can call it like a white, infinite white.
Mm-hmm.
You're in this space which is infinite white all around you, and there's no time, there's no boxes or walls, and it feels like you're on a cloud. It's very deep state relaxation, and actually it feels like I'm very smooth, and at the same time that it's a melting experience. But also my glands in the head activate, right? So the pineal gland and pituitary gland. So I feel them contracting during this relaxation.
Wow.
So as soon as they start releasing, then I'm similarly when someone hypnotizes you, right?
Yeah.
You're blank. You're like kaput. But
I wouldn't call it kaput. I would call it just deeper.
Yes.
And when I realized that, thank you for this explanation. So it's really like it's a whiteout. It's not a blackout.
It's a whiteout.
It's a whiteout. And if you're in this whiteout, I realized then we can store new information very deep into the cellular level. I'm very curious on tomorrow's race and tomorrow's interview, the third part. And until then, we say goodbye and stay tuned. Triathlon friends, we are back with the third part of episode 8, and it's finishing time for Christian's first Ironman. He did very well, just finished, let's say half an hour ago. How do you feel now?
Fresh, good. Bike and run were perfectly set with the nutrition and execution. Swimming was a bit choppy and a bit struggling, but definitely a learning point there. But overall, a really fantastic day. I enjoyed it. Finally, an Ironman.
Full Ironman.
A full Ironman, full distance, 3.8k swim, 180k bike, 42k run, 11 hours, 5 minutes. In the bank.
In the bank. And a lot of experience, a lot of learnings, a lot of takeaways. Yesterday we had the long VGT session. You felt good in the morning, right? You
Yeah,
had a good
absolutely.
sleep.
Yeah.
And what I'm interested in is how did you accept the heat? Today was about like 30 degrees. I was up on a mountain during the bike, so it was a little bit cooler for me. I was taking a bike ride, but you were performing on the course here in the valley and on the run. How was the heat for you?
We rehearsed during the VGT having a cold bubble around me, so the heat didn't really affect me that much. I was well nutrition, so drinking water and my own nutrition frequently. Other than that, I never felt, I would say Rapperswil last year was much worse because I never had a cold bubble in my mind even to imagine something like this.
Yeah.
So I could tolerate the heat very well, and the bike and the run as a result went quite smooth. No cramps, no...
Yeah, I don't see any sweat on your pants. Do you usually have that? Like salt?
Yeah,
salt
yeah. I took a lot of salt caps.
No, but
no.
There's no... Usually do you have...
Usually I have salt, absolutely, on my... especially in my armpits and my pants, but I didn't even notice it. I'm still fresh.
So there's no... It's coming out fresh from the laundry. Maybe it's because of the beautiful Girona Racing Academy suit.
Shout out to Girona. GRA.
And to be honest, this surprised me because I've seen many athletes who are still on the course. They have salt on the tri-suits. That's always a sign that the body is like depleting a lot, but you don't have that. Do you usually have that?
Usually, yes. I mean, it's when I also wear like you can see the plants are black, right? You cannot see it on the collar.
Yeah.
But when I wear my black tri-suit, the other one, there's definitely, I believe everyone has that. So it's quite strange.
Okay, so good learning, good experience in terms of the weather conditions. For how do you say? For your future plan now, will you commit to the full Ironman? Or
Never again.
Did you fall in love today?
I did fall in love today. I finally understand why is it the full original distance Ironman is and will stay the original. 70.3 is a game for sprint and Olympic elite athletes to showcase their abilities and maybe for the general public to just get started with Ironman. But the full distance is the real monster that you need to eat up with your mind and body completely to be able to absorb it, and it's an incredible endeavor in terms of preparation, nutrition, execution, and training hours. It's just massive. So I'm really happy we executed it. The Mind movie we created during the VGT played out beautifully. I was confident, I was in control. Now I'm fresh, so I didn't push that crazy, so I don't need 2 weeks to recover after this.
Yeah.
Especially with the race in Tallinn coming on the 6th of August. That's very important that I'm able to bounce back and be able to train and create a new 3-4 week training block to be ready for there, because it's going to be 70.3 European Championships.
Yes. So if you use the VGT after this massive effort that you took from your body, that will surely help you in recovering. I can tell you from my experience, your body will shake immensely if you do the VGT tonight. Maybe there's some techno music, you're up for that, I don't know. I want to end the video with a big thank you for, you see me wearing the Summits for Hope cap. I am doing the charity ride on next Saturday, 15th of July. I'm doing a 160k ride in the center of the Alps, and for all who have already been donating money for this beautiful project, for Let's Ride for kids, for schooling, education, for clean water, for shelter for kids in Mozambique. I'm very grateful in their name and in the name of Summits for Hope. Thank you for donating. If you have not yet donated, that's no problem. Just send me your energy. That's also a form that I really need. I was up today on the mountain in Große Scheidegg, and I tell you, this is going to be a big challenge. I need to do some VDT sessions as well to make some miracles happening in this week. And yeah, if you want to leave any questions, feel free to do so. We're always enjoying, and see you next time in the month of August, probably with a race report from Tallinn.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you everyone who's watching. Thank you for everyone who's supporting us. It means a lot. The journey took off. We qualified for the World Champs, completed the first Ironman. It's a surreal Zero2Hero journey. Please continue supporting us, and we'll bring more news and updates. Thank you so much.